Good evening. This is Charles, the GED graduate, once again, uh, live from New York City in the studio. Today, we're going to speak a little bit about everything. But in some of my past videos, I shared how, the worst enemy of our country right now is the white liberal woman. The green hair, the purple hair, the pink hair, the bull nose ring, uh, tattoos everywhere, um, mainly drive the Subaru, the Outback, whatever Subaru, whatever brand they buy, that's that's their MO. That's their MO. That's their gear. You usually see those people. They usually have pajamas on. They are the worst people for America right now. And I mean the worst, I mean the worst. So, with that being said, uh, I want to give you a few facts today. The first fact is because I am a real estate broker uh, and I own a lot of investment properties, Detroit, Connecticut, in the area. So, the first thing I would like to share is that, again, those who's seen some of my earlier videos where I said I was 55 years old, meaning I was born in 1970. I didn't graduate from high school. I didn't go to college, but I'm a licensed real estate broker, millionaire who owns plenty of multifamilies, houses, own a brokerage licensed in New York and Connecticut. Um, the average age of home buyers at the present time is 40 years old. The average age of home buyers for you high school graduates and you college graduates, I'm not saying every person that buys a home. I said the average age. You do know how to get average, right? Okay. All the data from all around the country, they find out how old he is, and they do a little mathematical equation, and they find out what the average age. Just because you bought a house at 25, that don't mean I'm not talking about you. The average age of the home buyer, just 2025, is 40 years old. Now, let's go back to the 80s. Let's just say early 80s. Early 80s is anywhere between 80 and 84. 1980 and 1984. That's what we consider early 80s. If we go back to that time, the average home buyer was 29. So if we go back to the early 80s, the average home buyer was 29. And then when we go almost 44 years later, in 2025, the average home buyer is 40. You want to know why? I'm going to explain why from a GED perspective. The reason why the homeowners are older now, because the 29-year-olds of today, they don't compare with the 29 years of old people of the early 80s. And this is why. And the reason why, the 29 years old people that were buying homes in the early 80s, it's their fault. It's their fault that their children didn't get proper education. They didn't teach their children their morals. They didn't teach their children their standards. And then they didn't teach their children about nothing. They just sent them to school and thought the school was going to teach them about everything. Let me explain this to you again from a GED perspective. The reason why the average 29-year-old today is not advanced as a 29-year-old of 1980 is because of his parents' fault. His parents allowed the government in the 90s and early 2000s to pass their children along. What I mean by this, it was a program that came up during President Bush #2 called No Child Left Behind. That means if I was in the 9th, 10th, 11th grade, 12th grade, doesn't matter. I didn't even have to know how to read. And I would be passed along just so the city, the schooling can get funding to show they have a high graduation rate. There are millions of those children that are now 35, some 40, some 30, some 25. I would beg to offer that they're anywhere from 20 to 40 right now in our country who are uneducated, even though they got a high school diploma, even though some of them went off to college where they were trained. But that's another subject. We'll get to that in a minute. Okay? So these children that were sent to these schools, inner city schools, urban schools, you name them, all around the country, they were put in these schools, public schools, and they were basically passed through school without learning anything under the No Child Left Behind program that was initiated by President Bush #2. Okay? Right after him, remember, President Bush stayed in office 8 years. President Bush #2 stayed in the office 8 years, 2000 to 2008. And then guess who came behind him? First of all, President Bush II was the worst president in the history of the United States of America. The next president behind him, who also stayed 8 years, was President Obama. I call him Bama. He's a Bama. But his name is President Barack Obama. This Bama, he continued to do with Bush's No Child Left Behind, but he just named it something else. Forgot the name or whatever he named it, but you can Google it or whatever. But basically, again, they made sure that they just passed kids without them learning anything. And let me show you how that affects them today. When I was in school, grammar school, middle school, and high school, before this was I started school in the late 70s, 77, 78, around there. So when I was in school, elementary school, middle school, if you didn't pass that grade, your ass stayed back. There was no such thing as passing them. There was no such thing as, oh, just pass him, he'll learn the next grade. No, you stay back. And guess what that did to a student? He was shamed and he was embarrassed. But I bet you he learned. He failed, but he learned how to pass. He learned how to figure it out. And he'll pass the next year. Not just the boys, it was plenty of girls that were staying back then. Sometimes smart parents kept their child back. There's plenty of instances where parents that were involved in their child's life, they kept their child back because they knew their child wasn't ready. So they made their child go back to that grade, repeat it, so they can better understand it. Those children from that era that went through that, most of them have good common sense. These children that are now, I'm calling them children, but they're grown now. They're 20s, 30s, and early 40s now. But they were in the No Child, No Leave, Leave No Child program, Leave No Child Behind program. They were in that program. They could have been coming to school half of the time. Didn't matter. They're going to pass them. That was the law. And if they didn't do it, if they didn't show a high graduation rate, you didn't get funding. The school didn't get funding. Everything is about funding. And we're going to be going through all this stuff. Everything is about funding, okay? Everything is about funding. So if the schools, whether it's elementary school, whether it's the grammar school, whether it's high school, if they didn't show a high graduation rate, they didn't get funded. So No Child Left Behind, you pass them on through no matter what. So there is where those kids who are now grown-ups, they didn't learn anything about civics. They didn't learn anything about home economics. They didn't learn anything about the trades. They didn't learn anything. It wasn't required to learn anything. Okay? So when you say, oh, these kids are different, motherfucker, you made them different. You made them different. When you allowed them to keep these child, when you allow for the government to pass your child when you know he was dumb as fuck. You knew damn well that boy couldn't read. You knew damn well that girl couldn't read. You knew this. You knew they couldn't comprehend. You knew they couldn't spell. You knew they couldn't write cursive. You knew all this stuff. But you sat right there and smiled on graduation day because he put that dumbass cap on, the graduation cap, and you get to throw it and all that. You knew damn well he didn't deserve that. You knew he couldn't read. But it all looked good. It all looks good for the cameras. Oh, my boy graduated. Oh, yeah, my baby girl graduated. She going to college. She dumb as a motherfucker. She dumb as hell. But you acting like she done something when you know for a fact that that girl and that boy dumb as hell and don't know nothing. Don't know nothing. When I was in school, they had home economics. You go by the class, you smell food. Girls in there learn how to cook in school. They was learning how to cook in school. It was called home economics. Yeah, home economics. You had a civics class where it told you everything how a government ran. Civics didn't teach you to vote on somebody because they was black. Civics didn't tell you to vote on somebody because a rapper said vote on somebody. Because the entertainer told you to vote. Civics didn't teach you that. But there's no more civics in schools. They dumbed the last 25, 30 years of students down. And this is what you have voting now. A bunch of dumbass people. It's so dumb now that you're able to tell human beings, oh, he's not a he, he's a she. Oh, he's an it. He's with all this pronoun shit. This is how dumb we've gotten as a country. This is how dumb. If my grandfather see this shit, he turn over in his damn grave. They fought for this damn country. My grandfather, which is my mother's father, he fought in the military. My father fought in the military. They would turn over in their grave if they can see how this shit is going on. They fought for all his freedom. And this is what they get from it. 20, 30 years of dumb shit. Dumbed down. So this is why the politicians can get on TV and bring Megan Thee Stallion and bring all these entertainers, and they can get voters from that. They can get voters from an entertainer. They're playing in your face. They know you're stupid. And again, I'm really not gonna blame you, but you got to take some accountability. But your parents is the one I blame. Your parents are the one I blame because they know you was dumb. They know you was stupid, and they didn't keep you back. They went along right with the No Child Left Behind, when they know you was stupid as fuck. Then they let you to go right to college and get all that damn school debt when they know you wasn't ready for school. You didn't get good grades in school, so why the fuck are you going to college for? If you didn't get good grades in school, what the hell are you going to college for? For what? If you didn't even attend school, if you was not going to school on a regular basis, what the hell are you doing in college? You just putting yourself more in debt. But that's another subject. But we're going to get back to this No Child Left Behind. All right? The No Child Left Behind is what we're facing right now is a nation. You go on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and you see a bunch of people that are humans that think like subhumans. They have absolutely no common sense. It shouldn't say Black Lives Matters. Fuck Black Lives Matters. It should say common sense matters, because that's what matters. Common sense should matter. Not Black lives should matter. Common sense, because nobody has it. Why? No Child Left Behind. No Child Left Behind was able to create a large percentage of the United States to accept LGBTQ, to popularize it, to popularize going to work with goddamn pajamas on, to popularize walking around fucking airports with bonnets on, to popularize men walking around with goddamn bonnets on, to popularize a bunch of men walking around sassy as hell. All that came from the No Child Left Behind, because they don't know shit. They don't have any morals whatsoever. Man, I grew up in a city called Panama City, Florida. Okay? I grew up in a city called Panama City, Florida. Born in Connecticut. Left there when I was in the 5th grade, moved to Panama City, Florida. One of the best things that ever happened to me. Panama City, Florida. This is how real Florida is, man. It's still real. It's the best state in the nation. Hands down. Hands down, Florida is the best state in the nation. You see the motherfucking protesters ain't going down there. Shit. Go down there and protest ICE and see what the hell happened to you. See what happened to you. Go down there and try that shit. But okay. This is how real stuff was back then. I remember going to a junior high. It was called Jinx Junior High. It was from 7th to 9th grade. If you got it fucked up, attitude-wise, doing something wrong, missing school, the principal had a goddamn paddle with holes in that shit. You either got 1 swat, 2 swats, or 3 swats, depending on what you did wrong. You put your hands on the goddamn table and you put that swat on gas. Pop! Y'all can't even imagine that shit right now. But that discipline what made me the man I am today. Some of that discipline made me the man I am today, because the No Child Left Behind left millions of children to never have to take accountability for nothing they do. The No Child Left Behind program that they implemented in our schools in the late 90s to the present day, they don't allow those children to take accountability. And in the real world, nothing is free. And you're going to fail. But the No Child Left Behind program, it doesn't give the opportunity for the child to learn about failure. This is why the children are all fucking doing drugs. They smoking vape early. Everybody lips is dark from smoking weed. Everybody. When I was coming up, it was marijuana, it was crack, it was cocaine. But everybody didn't smoke weed, man. Just what? Everybody didn't smoke weed. I didn't smoke it. My lips ain't black. Never been black. So, because the No Child Left Behind program, it never allowed the child to experience failure. In order to be an adult in this world, you have to be able to deal with failure, because failure is a learning process. But because they never failed those students, they just passed right along from the 90s all the way to present day. Because they did that, that's what they created the DEI for, the diversity, equity, inclusion. That's how all this shit comes into play now. This is why this shit came into play. Because now I have to say, okay, Charles, you specialize in this, you're good at it, you're the best man for that job. But guess what, Charles? Because we don't have a purple hair person in here, or because we don't have a transvestite in there, or because we don't have this type of race of person in here, we have to skip you over. We have to give that job to that person, even though they're not more qualified than Charles, the GED graduate. That's all DEI is. Giving the fucking job to somebody else based upon their skin complexion, based upon because they're transvestite, based upon because they're LGBTQ, when it should be on merit. But they had to start these programs because they got a bunch of fucking dumb zombies. And I hate to say it, but it's the truth. We got a bunch of dumb zombies that graduated No Child Left Behind program from the 90s all the way to the present day. The majority of them, they don't have a clue about failure. That's why they can't pay attention to your goddamn child. They can't handle failure. Even in the world, they're blamed. You know why? This is what they do when something wrong. They point everybody. The government, it's Trump, it's this person, it's that person, it's your mother, it's your father, it's your grandmother. They blame everybody else except themselves. They don't take accountability. They don't. These motherfuckers is over here still. I'm talking about black people right now. Black people is still goddamn blaming some shit that happened 150 years ago about why they can't get shit right today. This is how stupid these motherfuckers is. Motherfuckers that ain't never experienced slavery. In 2026, they're talking about slavery is the reason why they can't get back on top. They blame the white man. Oh, the white man this, the white man that. Man, shut your dumb ass up. The white man. Yeah, that's what they blame why they can't. The reason they say they can't get on top, a lot of black people say this. The reason they can't get on top, not this one, not the GED graduate. I'm a GED graduate and a millionaire. Ain't nobody stopped me from doing nothing. I went and got my bag. And nobody stopped me. And nobody stopped me now. Nobody's white or black. Only you can stop you. So you got people right now, those same children that's grown now, that were in the No Child Left Behind, whether they was white, Spanish, black, all of them, they all blame somebody else for their failures. Again, it's their parents' fault now, because their parents are the one voted for motherfuckers to pass them goddamn dumbass laws. But the child got to take some responsibility now because they grown. But they ain't got no common sense. They ain't got no common sense. And I hate to say this, man. I hate to say it, but I'm gonna say it. Motherfuckers got to die off. A new breed got to come in, because you can't fix them. A lot of motherfuckers can't be fixed. They got to die off. It is what it is. It is what it is. A lot of them got to die off because they don't have nothing here, and you can't tell them nothing. You can't treat you can't, how you say, you can't teach a old dog new tricks. Sometimes you can, but the majority of the time, no. Because you got fentanyl, you got weed, you got hookah, you got the rappers. You can't, that's all they know. So anybody would come in with some real goddamn sense, you can't get through. You can't get through to them. So you have that whole generation from the 90s to the 2000s. Majority of these motherfuckers is fucked up. They're fucked because they were passed along. They never fail. So they don't know how to get up. They never failed, so they don't know how to get up. Again, they never failed, so they don't know how to get up. Me, I done fell a bunch of goddamn times, but I know how to get up. I know how to get up. The ones that were passed in the Leave No Child Behind program, they never failed. So they don't know how to get up. They blame everybody else. And like I said, let's get back to these dummies, because there's some of them, a lot of my age, that's dumb as a box of rocks. They probably got high school diplomas too, but they dumb as a box of rocks. So a lot of them got college degrees. I'm gonna expose their ass too. So these ones that's my age, again, I'm 55, I'll be 56 in November 2026. I just turned 55 last year. So you got a lot of them that's my age that's dumb as a box of rocks. Dumb as a box of rocks. They were smoking crack. You know what I'm saying? The GED graduate was smart enough not to do no cocaine, not to do no crack, not to drink no goddamn Wild Hours Rose, not to drink a whole bunch of goddamn beer every motherfucking day. The GED graduate had plenty of sense not to do that. The GED graduate had plenty of sense not to do none of that shit. That's why at 55, I look good. I look good. Because I had plenty of sense. So, again, like I said, so that era, man, I don't think you can wake them up because they don't know how to fail. And they go crazy when you try to give them information. They don't know how to accept it. They're too high. I'm telling you, man. You motherfuckers mad because Trump is stopping the drugs from coming over here. You should be happy, jackass. What about your children? What about your children? You still blaming the white man. Let me give you a fact, jackass. You dummy. Matter of fact, I caught a lot of y'all smart dummies. With the college degrees, I call y'all smart dummies. You so goddamn smart, you're dumb. You got all them goddamn degrees, but you're still in debt. You a smart dummy. You are a smart dummy. You got book smart, but the GE graduate got life smart. I got life smart. Let me tell you something about the white man. The white man y'all keep talking about is holding y'all back. And you can go fact check this. Shh, shh, shh. The white man ain't even the richest man in the United States no more. Did you hear that? The white man ain't even in the top 8 of top earners in the United States no damn more. Dummy. So how the fuck is he holding you back? And he ain't even got the damn money. Dummy. I'm gonna say it again for the people in the back. All you dummies that's saying the white man, the system, is holding y'all back. Let me give you a secret. It's not a secret no more because I'm exposing it. The white man is not in the top 8 according to race of earners in this country. He don't make more money than an Indian American. He don't make no money than a Chinese American. He don't make no money. It's 8 of them in front of him. He number 9 on the list. So how the fuck he got power and he ain't got no, and he ain't even the top earner no more in this country? Dummy. So stop saying that stupid ass shit. Stop repeating those talking points about the white man holding the white man. You ain't got no money, you ain't got no power. So what the fuck is you talking about? If you ain't got no money, you ain't got no power. The white man ain't holding you back. You holding yourself back. You are in the freest country in the world. The freest country in the world. To go chase a bag, to go chase that money machine. You can do whatever you want in this country, man. I keep telling you, I'm living proof. I'm living proof. You can get anything you want in this country. But the reason you guys can't get it because you're too high. You motherfuckers is high. All you listen, I can't walk out that door. I can tell a motherfucker high. I grew up in the damn projects, man. Huh? I grew up in the motherfucking projects, man. Yeah. I grew up around all that shit. I grew up around all that shit. I grew up around uncles that was on heroin. I grew up around crack. I grew up around all that shit. So I can see it when you high. You can't hide behind. I don't give a fuck. I know if you're high on cocaine, heroin, weed. I know it. If you're drunk, I know it. So you get nothing secret. 95% of Americans is high. That's why y'all can't get no money. 95% of Americans is high. You high. That's why you can't get no money. Because you high. Me, I don't get high. That's why I'm not included in 95%. Because I got a GED. And that GED told me don't get high. That GED told me don't get high. Don't get high. So again, all y'all motherfuckers is high. I can't believe it's 2026 and you dumb people are blaming white people. And then you got the dumbass white liberal woman. Now they saying the same shit. Then you got the other, what you call it, the white apologist. Oh, we sorry what we done to you. Motherfucker, I don't need you. You ain't got more money than me. You ain't done nothing to me. You ain't done nothing to my father. My father was a Vietnam veteran. He wasn't no goddamn slave. My mother's father was a veteran in the Marines. My dad was a Marine. Yeah. Shit. They was free men. They was free men. And they fought in this damn country and got the freedoms that I'm able to enjoy today. The freedoms that you motherfuckers complaining about today, they wish they could have had those freedoms 70 years ago, 80 years ago, 90 years ago. If the people of yesterday, the ancestors, because I'm 55, so the people that's 90 years old, the people that was living 100 years old, 100 years ago, 150 years ago, 70 years ago, if they can see the opportunity that you got right now and you're complaining, they will be turning over in their damn grave. Because they fought physically. I said in the other video, talking about black people and white people. I ain't talking about these other motherfuckers. I'm talking about black people and white people. They both fought in every war in this country from the very inception of it. The first war of this country was the Revolutionary War, when we declared our independence from Britain. When we declared our independence from Britain, that was the first damn war, Revolutionary War. We fought in that war, black people and white people together. The War 1812, the Civil War between the North and the South. White and blacks fought on both sides. The Mexican-American War, the Spanish-American War, the World War I, the World War II, the Korean War, the Vietnam War, Persian Gulf, Afghanistan. We fought together, white and black people, through all those damn wars. And that's the reason we got the freedom that we got right now. Make no mistake about it. Let me tell you something. Make no mistake about it. The only reason that Americans are comfortable and they ain't worried about nobody bombing their goddamn house with a missile is because we got the big gun in the United States. If we don't have the big gun, China would have been took us over. Russia would have been took us over. And on the low, they're already infiltrated. They're already here. Our country has been infiltrated, but they haven't taken over our military. They haven't taken over our military. Our military is the one that protects your freedoms, your freedom to get up and do what you want to do every day. Because if we didn't have a military, man, if we didn't have a military, you would be under communist rule right now, either from China or Russia. You would be under communist rule. You wouldn't be able to have wouldn't be no entrepreneurs, wouldn't nobody be on YouTube making a bunch of money, wouldn't be nobody on TikTok making a bunch of money. Go to them countries. Ain't nobody making no bag over there on no goddamn TikTok or China. They don't play that shit. All that shit is monitored. All that shit is monitored. But you motherfuckers is still tomorrow. You sympathize with China. You want to be in a Chinese rule? Is you that fucking stupid? Do you understand what that means? You want America to go down that bad that you would rather be under Chinese rule? You want to be like Cubans? You want to be under communist rule where you got to line up for goddamn bread in the morning and hopefully you get a motherfucking loaf? Because they don't allow you to grow your own shit? You want to go through that? Y'all have to decide. But I know why you think like that, because you one of them no child left behind motherfuckers. Yeah, you didn't learn nothing. You didn't learn nothing. You didn't learn nothing about the British are coming. You didn't learn about the Revolutionary War. They didn't teach you that in school. They just passed you on. They didn't teach you shit. Because your teacher didn't know shit. Teachers is dumb as fuck right now. They don't know nothing. Teachers don't know shit. So how can they teach you? How can they teach you? You out here voting because the motherfucker is a certain complexion. The fuck is you talking about? The fuck is you talking about? Black people, you gonna vote somebody because they're a rapper? Because a rapper said is right? Nigga, a rapper is an entertainer. That's it. A rapper is an entertainer. That's it. An entertainer is an entertainer, meaning they dance. Them tip tappers, nigga. Yeah, them tip tappers. Yeah, they tap dancers. That's what a rapper is. He's a tap dancer. He's an entertainer. And that's their business. That's what they do. But you don't go for them for no goddamn real information. You don't take their advice on who the fuck to vote for. No. When the fuck they became a goddamn scholar? They ain't a scholar of shit. They ain't a No Child Left program just like you. They just know how to goddamn sing and rap and dance. Or a ball player. Ball player's dumb as fuck. You forgot? You was in school with them niggas. The football, most of the motherfuckers is dumb, man. Football players and basketball, they jocks. They dumb. They dumb. Why would you listen to these motherfuckers on who to vote for? They don't give a fuck about you. Whoever paid them some money, they're gonna do it. I spoke in the video, I told you what a city is. A city is a corporation. A state is a corporation. The United States of America is a corporation. I told you these things. And the CEOs for the United States of America is Trump right now. The CEO of a mayor, whatever your name of your mayor of your city is. The CEO is the mayor of the city. The CEO of the state is the governor. These things they teach you in school. These things they teach you in school in civics. The reason you don't know because they didn't teach you. So me, the GED graduate, I gotta teach you. Because it's going too far. I've watched this shit for too long. I had to speak out. I've watched this shit for too long. I had to speak out. It's crazy. 95% of the population is getting high. Motherfuckers don't want no money. You get all the opportunities in the world, and you're blaming some motherfucking white man from 150 years ago. Why you ain't got shit today? You're blaming some shit from 150 years ago why you ain't got shit today. I'm gonna break it down as simple as I can again. I did it in the last video. Go watch it. This is how profitable capitalism is. That's the government we have. We have a capitalistic government. But this is what capitalism is, jackass, because I know you don't know. You think it's a bad word. You don't think it's good. Capitalism is very simple. No matter what part of this country you're in, I don't give a fuck if you're in California, Chicago, Houston, Florida, Maryland, New York, New Hampshire, Maine. I don't care where you at. Phoenix, I don't give a damn where you at. You can go in any BJ's, any Sam's Club, any Costco, and you can grab a 24-pack of water for $3 to $5, depending on where you at. And you can go on the next block and sell those waters for $1 a piece and make that $5 turn into $24. That's what capitalism is. To be able to make a product and make a profit off of it. That's all capitalism is. And you can do that with any other product as well. You can do it. All you got to do is find out what the demand is. It's all in supply and demand. It's all in supply and demand. I got into real estate. Why? It's all in supply and demand. It's all in supply and demand. Common sense. People are born every day. Children are born every day. Guess what? They're going to need somewhere to live at. I'm going to provide them housing. Okay, Charles, go to real estate then. Common sense. It don't take a rocket science. It don't take a fucking rocket scientist to know that real estate is always going to be valuable to you. It's always going to be profitable because people are born every day and they need somewhere to live. I'm going to provide them somewhere to live because the government is not good with providing housing. I'm from an era where they have projects. Those are government housing. They turn into fucking, they're not, like, government is no, they know it. That's why they step back. Government is no good when it comes to housing. They make projects. Projects make bad citizens. Okay? So again, you just have to use common sense, which I know a bunch of you guys don't have it because you were just in the No Child Left Behind program. You don't have common sense, that's one strike against you. Second strike, you're too high. The third strike, you don't have common sense, you're getting high, and using the No Child Left Behind program. So that's basically 3 strikes. That's why I said it's nothing really I can do to help you. it's nothing really I can do. I'm just telling you, y'all might just die off, and hopefully your children you can send them to a school where they can fail and learn because y'all ain't going nowhere. Y'all not gonna do shit. Y'all not gonna never. You guys are a burden to society. You're not an asset to society. You're a burden to society. You're not producing nothing for society. You're a burden. Okay? You're a burden to society. You're not an asset to society. You're not doing nothing to make society better. Well, who you talking about? I'm talking about black people, some white people. I'm talking about all races. Most of you guys in that No Child Left Behind, you're not doing nothing for America to make it better. You're not doing nothing to make your neighborhood better. You're not doing nothing to make your community better. You're not doing nothing to make yourself better. The only thing you're doing is getting high. And the ones that do go to work, and you're just going in circles. You're not doing nothing. You're not an asset. I was telling my brother the other day, you know, he just closing a house up here, $650,000, because he got common sense. But I was just telling him that, you got to have your own morals. Some people believe in higher power, they call it. Some people believe in God. You got Allah. You got the Jehovah. You got the Israelites. Some men or humans, they are governed by the morals of the higher power they believe in. So that makes sure that they do the right thing in society. Okay? Because they're governed by a higher power. There's certain things that they're not going to do. Okay? So they're good. But the next level of men and women, they can't be governed by those morals. They don't like those morals. They disobey those morals so much where man's law have to govern them. That's why we have a constitution. We have laws. You know what I'm saying? The government have to make laws, criminal laws and all that stuff. Don't do this, don't do that, or you're gonna go to jail. So if you can't be governed by God's laws or the created laws, man's law gonna have to deal with you. And then when man's law, and if you can't survive under man's law, then you got to go to the penitentiary or the prison or the jailhouse, which now you're gonna be governed by the warden's law or the superintendent's law, right? Yeah. I go to a lot of cities in the United States, and I observe a lot because I'm not high, so I'm always observing. Always observing because I'm just, I'm outside. So I'm watching people do this. I'm just watching. I'm very observant because I'm learning. Even though I'm 55, I'm still learning. So by me talking about those three laws, the God's law, the man's law, and if you don't obey that law, this law is going to hit you. So if you can't obey God's law, this law is going to hit you down here. Man's law. If you can't obey man's law, then you're going to be under the warden's law in the prison. Okay? Some of these guys and women that you see walking around on the corner, holding signs, talking about they're hungry, on drugs, bent over on fentanyl, dirty, dusty. A lot of them you see downtown in all your major cities, especially your democratic cities, especially urban cities, where you see white, blacks, but when you see them all messed up, like they're homeless, everything. Those human beings, they need to be in the penitentiary and be governed under the warden law. You know why? Because they are better humans there. The motherfuckers get up in the morning, they make their bed, they not on drugs, they got their bellies tightened up, their clothes is on, they eating good, they healthy, they go to church in that motherfucker, they got the kufi on, they going to be a Muslim. But as soon as they get out, you see them on the green, homeless, in the shelter, on drugs, because they need to be governed by law. Somebody foot need to be on their neck. That's why. The law got to be on their neck. So when they're out here, they're not an asset to society. They are a burden. They're using up resources that we could be using on somebody else that appreciate the resources. Where they should be over there under that court. Oh, because when they're in prison, women and men, when they're in prison, they clean. The woman ain't skinny, she healthy. The men is healthy. They brushing their motherfucking teeth in the morning. Guess what? Them motherfuckers even go to work in prison. They go to work in the morning. They don't fucking call in sick. They don't, and they only working for a goddamn 40 cents a day, $1 a day. But they won't work out here for $15 an hour. That ain't enough for them. That ain't enough for them. But they'll go in there under the warden, under the superintendent in the jailhouse, and as soon as they get there, they get a motherfucking job. They got enough to buy a goddamn Hershey bar and a motherfucking soup. They're better humans there under somebody's foot. Some people, some humans need foot on their motherfucking neck. Simple as that. They're better humans like that. Some of these people you see is fucked up when they're in jail. Them some of the most polite, cleanest, healthiest, morally sound people in prison you will ever see in your life. Because they need to be governed by something. They need to be governed. Men and women need to be governed. Me, I'm governed by God's law. As long as I go by his law, I don't give a fuck about your law. I'm good. I'm gonna go by his law. But when you can't go by his law, man law gonna hit you. What's the Constitution? in criminal law, courthouse. When that ain't enough for you, you're going to jail. And some of the best humans, all the people you see that's homeless, all the people you see that's on the green, downtown, all these major cities, when the motherfuckers in jail, they ain't on drugs, the motherfucker clean as a whistle. Clean as a goddamn whistle. Clean as a whistle. Ain't smoked nothing, ain't drunk nothing, go to work on time, don't call in sick, don't whip, don't smell, brush their motherfucking teeth, their ass smell, they don't stink. Clothes ain't dirty. They ain't got no motherfucking mice, they ain't got no goddamn rats, they ain't got no roaches. Mm-mm. Because they need to be governed. They need to be governed. But y'all don't realize this shit. Some motherfuckers is supposed to be there. They had prisons way back in ancient times. There's always been prisons. And some motherfuckers belong there. Because they're better humans there than they are out here. Because out here, they're not governed. And men need to be governed. Women need to be governed. Women supposed to be up under a man's covering. That's what government is. Without that, she for the streets. That's gonna be another subject. We're gonna get into that. We definitely gonna get into that. We can talk about it. We have a vast amount of knowledge on a lot of different subjects. We have a vast amount of knowledge on a lot of subjects. So we're gonna get into all that. But again, and humans need to be governed. That's why it's always been laws. It's always been laws from the beginning of time. It's always been laws. Because humans have to be governed. Because most of them do not listen to God's law. You literally got people thinking it's okay for a boy to go in a goddamn girl's bathroom. That's how sickening we got. We're to that point where we're really arguing. We got grown goddamn folks arguing that it's okay for parents to allow a boy to cut his dick off and become a woman. That's how far we came. That's how dumb we are right now. That's how dumb. That's how fucking stupid we are. We literally think it's okay for a parent to allow a child to say, "Oh no, I think I'm a girl today. Come, let's go cut my dick off and see if I can get a pussy." That's where we at right now. That's where we at. I never thought I'd see this day, but here I am. I've never thought I'd seen this shit like this in my lifetime. That we don't know what the fuck a man is. We got people in our we got politicians that you motherfuckers voted in office that say they don't know the difference between a man and a woman. Yeah, they say they don't know the difference between a man and a woman. But on the same damn speech, they'll say men and women are equal. When? When the fuck have men and women become equal? When? We wasn't even created equal, man. Yeah. We wasn't even created equal. Yeah, let's talk about that. How are men and women equal and we wasn't even created equal? We wasn't even created together. And it gets deeper than that. I don't give a fuck what righteous book you go in. When God made man, he made him from his image and his likeness. He made man from his image and his likeness. Women wasn't made like that. Let that sink in. I'm going to say it again for the people in the back. The people in the front and the back, because none of you motherfuckers, you're high. I know you're high. So I got to tell the people in the front, the middle, and the back, because all you motherfuckers is high. And you just keep getting high. I don't know what the fuck. How high can you get? How high can you get? How fucking high can you get? So I'm going to say it again. Women and men, how are they equal and they wasn't even created the same? Man was created directly from God. He said, let me make him, which is man, in my image and likeness. Then that same creator, whatever you want to call him, God, universe, Allah, whatever you want to call him, he gave that man a purpose. Nigga going out there, name the trees, name the animal, y'all name all that shit. You got dominion on all that. That's all your shit. He gave him a purpose. Ain't no woman around. Ain't no woman around at this time. He gave him a purpose. Go on out there, Adam. Go name the birds, all that's yours. It don't belong to me no more. I'm giving it to you. You in charge. That's your purpose. Go out there and work the world. Then, when Adam finished working for the day, I guess, Adam was asleep. The story said he took the woman from the rib of a physical human being, which was Adam, I guess, and made woman. It's no need to get in what the rib is symbolic of. The point I'm making, he didn't make woman in his image and his likeness. So we're not the same. God's image and likeness is not physical, it's spiritual. I can beg to offer that men is spiritual beings. Women are not. They were made from the flesh, from the rib. So let's get this out the way right now. We're not equal. We wouldn't even create the same. And when he made you out of that rib, from that man, he gave you a damn purpose too. He said, you a helpmate. You help Adam, help your husband. You help your husband. That was your purpose. He didn't tell you to go, he didn't give you dominion over shit. He didn't give you dominion over nothing. He told you to help this man that he just made you out of. That was it. So we're not equal. He didn't even give you the same duties as this man. He told this man, you got dominion over everything. He didn't tell you that. He told you that you are a helpmate. So wherever he needs help at, that's your motherfucking purpose. So for the man and for the woman that's not living like that, they out of pocket. You out of pocket. That's why you can't prosper. The man's purpose is from God, and he had it before woman was even born. So the man's purpose is first. The woman's purpose is to help him. He ain't even, man, God didn't even tell the woman to do nothing for him. He just said, help him. I don't need you to pray to me. I don't need you to do none of that shit. I need you to help Adam. The only way Adam need help if he tell you, I need you to do something. But I ain't gonna get all religious on you. I'm gonna give you the facts. You can come on up here, you can chat about it, you can DM me, we can talk about it. We can talk about it. I'm knowledgeable of a few things. You know what I'm saying? But that's neither here nor there. It's neither here nor there. But stop saying we're equal. Ain't nothing about us equal. You're not as strong as me. You don't hit harder than me. You don't run faster than me. Nothing. There's nothing equal about us. Nothing. There's nothing equal about us. Nothing. I have a dick. You got a pussy. I penetrate you. You get penetrated. There's nothing equal about a man and a woman. Nothing. Nothing. So stop this bullshit that a boy can go in a woman's bathroom and a woman. No, no, no. The LGBTQ purple green hair people, all they was Sodom and Gomorrah all over again. Y'all know about Sodom and Gomorrah. Y'all know about them. Y'all know about Sodom and Gomorrah. He burnt that motherfucking town down. He burnt the whole goddamn city down. God burnt the whole city down because all of us was gay. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can talk about it. I don't give a fuck about you. I'm gonna tell you what's real. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not gonna get up here and say, "Oh, but that's okay." No, 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 no. I don't like it. I don't give a fuck about it, and I don't need you around my grandkids with that shit. I don't. Kids grown, you go around them jackasses all you want to. My kids grown. Go on, if they want to accept it, that's on them. It's on them. But once you accept it, stay the fuck away from me. Because I'm not living that life. I don't want you around. I don't want you around me. I don't want to be nothing. Nothing. I don't hate you, but we not in the same time zone. We on two different things. Your purpose and mine are not aligned. We are not aligned. You know, this word y'all want to use. Aligned. We are not aligned. I don't want you near me. That's what it is. I'm a man. And I'm a man and I got morals. My morals are from God. I go by that law. So it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So again, man, so this is part one of exposing the No Child Left Behind generations with an S. What was the name of that one from Obama? Obama had one right after. What was the program that was equivalent to No Child Left Behind that Obama implemented after Bush left office? It was called some old slick shit. But yeah, this is part one of the No Child Left Behind. It was called no, what no motherfucker, no. Every Student Succeeds Act. That was the name of the one with Obama. The Every Student Succeeds Act. Yep. Every Student Succeeds Act. Yep. And that's why we have generations of voters that just vote off of, they don't have a clue. They don't know nothing about government. They don't have a clue. They don't know how this country was founded. They don't know why they got. They don't even. You have most of our country, man. Most of our country think the freedoms that we have. They think everybody else got the same freedom around the world. They really do. I'm telling you. They think that. They think the freedoms that we have in the United States, that everybody in the world got the same freedoms. That's how ignorant they are. They don't understand that the freedoms we got is because our ancestors fought for these goddamn freedoms and gives us the freedom to do anything we want to progress. There's nothing in America stopping you from doing what you want to do. And last but not least, it's another secret, but it's only a secret to you guys. Let me get close so y'all can hear me. In the United States of America, every day, not every month, not every year, not every quarter, every day, 1,000 millionaires are made in this country. Let me say it again. Every day, Monday through Sunday, or Sunday through Saturday, however you want to say it, every day, daily, over 1,000 millionaires are made in this country. Guess what? 80% of them are self-made. For those who are left behind in the program, let me explain that to you. Self-made means they didn't come from money. They didn't get an inheritance. They didn't come from money. They were regular people. 80% of them, meaning if it's it's over 1,000, but I'm just going to say 1,000 every day. That means 800 of them every day became a millionaire. And it didn't come from money. It didn't come from inheritance. That people didn't leave them nothing. Let that sink in. And while you sitting around talking about what motherfucker did 100 years ago, while you sitting around talking about what Trump doing, while you sitting around talking about what everybody, while you sit around getting high, it's 1,000 motherfuckers every day becoming a millionaire. Why you think your politicians always say Trump and his billionaire friends? Why you think they don't say millionaires no more? Because they all millionaires. Because all your politicians, they all millionaires already. They want you to be poor while they still run up the bag. They running that money machine. Brrr, brrr. They running the money up. Why they keep telling you, you need this, you need that, you need this, you need a program for this, you need a grant for this. Why they steady 1,000 people every day becoming a millionaire. Guess what? I was one of them. I was one of them. Yeah. You gonna meet some more of them too. I'm gonna bring them on the show. I was one of them though. Yeah. I'm trying to be, shit. Truth be told, I'm trying to become a multi-millionaire. Truth be told. Because ain't nothing stopping you here in America. Ain't nothing stopping you in America. Nothing. Nothing stopping you in America. I'm going to say it one more damn time so you can understand it. Every day, not in the world, in the United States, every day, over 1,000 millionaires are made, and 80% of them do not come from money. Meaning they don't have an inheritance. The people are not rich. There wasn't nobody will. They got it from the dirt. And you out here complaining about why nobody give you something. That's it, man. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done, man. I'm done. I'm done. The reason you think like that because you was in a No Child Left Behind program. That's why. Come learn from the GED graduate. I can give you the game. I got the blueprint. But I'm not giving you no motherfucking money because you're going to blow it. Nigga, go get a job. Go get a job. Put the reefer down. Put the reefer, fuck weed. I'm going to call it reefer, what it is. Put the goddamn reefer down. Put the Henny down. Go turn that goddamn car in because the car no too high. Get on the goddamn bus and go to work and put your head down and grind. Like I did. Like I did. Yeah. Like I did. The GED graduate. The money is here. I don't give a fuck what state you in. The money is here. I don't give a fuck which state you in. The money is there. There's so many goddamn jobs, it's crazy. But you worrying about 15 hour, 13 hour, 20 an hour. It don't matter how much money you make. It matters how much you save and what you're gonna do with it when you stack up. That's what matters. That's where you fuck up at. That's where you fuck up at. You worrying about how much you're gonna make. It ain't about how much you make, it's how much you put up. Put your head down for 2 years and see how much you put up. And then come holler at your boy and I'll tell you where to put the money at. So you can join the club. Because 1,000 of us are made every day. Come join the club. Come join the club. Stop being a victim. Stop saying somebody stopped you from getting the bag. Because ain't nobody stopping you, man. Ain't nobody stopping you from getting no money. Ain't nobody stopping you from getting no money, man. You stopping yourself. Because somebody told you that because somebody else was a slave 150 years ago, that's why you fucked up today. Let me tell you another secret. I don't know about you black motherfuckers, but my people wasn't no slaves. My daddy, my mama, my grandma, I talked to all of them. They ain't never said there was no slave. And guess what? Guess what? A motherfucker used to be ashamed to be on food stamps. You niggas like it now. You motherfuckers was hollering when they took the food stamps. Y'all was happy. Y'all happy to have food stamps. Nigga, when I grew up in the projects in Foxwood, Panama City, Florida, when I grew up, the meat market was right down the street. The meat market was right down the street from Foxwood. We had to walk out and walk in the street. Well, my mother used to give me food stamps. Nigga, I used to be ashamed to pull the motherfuckers out because niggas gonna crack on you. But I'm glad I went through that. Shaming is good. You niggas ain't ashamed of nothing no more. You niggas ain't ashamed of nothing. You niggas ain't ashamed of nothing. They need to bring shaming back. Shaming was good because it makes you want to do better. Shaming was good because it makes you want to do better. Because you niggas out here happy that y'all got food stamps. I'm out. See y'all tomorrow.